My second year of high school was just about to start, and the summer break was recently over. I remember waking up about 6 in the morning, sitting on the side of my bed, just feeling completely ashamed of myself. The night before school, I've been playing video games for like 10 hours straight, and there was just bags of like candy and junk food like all over my desk. I just felt disgusted of myself. Before the break had started, I had made a promise to myself to actually do something about my weight and my video game addiction. I promised myself to not be this shy and insecure loser anymore. When I came back to school, I just wanted to have better looks and be more confident in myself. But if we fast forward, I was the same old person just like before the break. And at this point, my belly was so big that I could barely see my toes when I was sitting down. I stood up and walked over to the mirror. My face looked like I hadn't slept for days at this point. I had these massive bags under my eyes and I just looked so damn unhealthy. And I had breakouts as well all across my face from all the junk food and just sugar I had been eating. And like, no joke, bro, I could still taste a bit of the candy from yesterday. I remember just looking at myself and feeling so disappointed. I had made a promise to myself to do something about it. But at this point, it was even worse than before the break. I had become even more overweight and I hated the way I looked even more than before the break started. I used to go to the gym just a couple of months before because I knew deep down that I had to do something about it, but I just couldn't stay consistent whatsoever. I would do great for like 1 or 2 weeks, but then I would just keep going back to my same habits again and again and again. Quick side note, add me on Discord if you want to talk about your own fitness and get personal advice from me. I'll put my username on the screen right here, but also in the description. I knew that the video games and junk food wasn't good for me, but I just couldn't help myself. I had developed this love-hate relationship where on one side, they gave me comfort and relief, but on the other side, they were slowly just ruining my life. For as long as I can remember, I had always struggled with my weight. I can even remember to this very day, just looking at the kids who were skinnier than me in school and just wishing that I could swap bodies for them. Because to me, I thought that I would be overweight for the rest of my life. I don't know about you, but I used to watch these fitness transformation videos on YouTube, where they went from being obese or skinny to now looking like a Greek god. And I always dreamt of doing the same thing myself. All I ever wanted was to have more confidence in myself and actually be happy with the way that I looked. I wanted to get attention from people, not because I was overweight, but because I was actually looking good. Since that time back in high school, I have managed to take my body from looking like this to now looking like this. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet, but at least it's a massive improvement. What I have come to realize is that how you control your fitness is how you control your life. And I used to think that this was just some corny thing that people used to say. But it's so true when you really think about it. I can honestly say that fitness has taught me more about life than school has ever did. And I know you might be thinking, okay, that's fine, you can think that, whatever. But you told me that you were struggling with consistency earlier. How did you manage to fix that? The moment everything started to click for me, when it comes to going to the gym and staying consistent, that was when I realized that nothing changes if nothing changes. It's such a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. I could sit in my room all day and just play video games and eat junk food, but that would not change the fact that I hated the way that I looked. I was running away from my life instead of actually trying to improve it. I don't know about you, but me personally, I'm such a big overthinker when it comes to doing something new. So it was even harder for me to realize, that I had to just throw myself in the deep end and just learn along the way. I can watch hundreds and hundreds of these fitness videos on YouTube, about workouts, exercises and diet, but nothing beats at the end of the day just showing up to the gym and doing the things that's needed. No video was gonna do the work for me and actually get the workout done. What was the point of me having all this information inside of my head if I couldn't even use it properly inside of the gym? I like to think that whenever you do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, that means that you are on the path of growth. And that's like the most beautiful part about fitness, is that most challenges that you face, they carry over to like all parts of your life and you become a better person because of it. So realizing that nothing changes if nothing changes, that was such a huge thing for me. I had to realize that if I wanted something done in my life, I couldn't rely on others to do it for me. Either I make it happen myself or I just completely forget about it. Another important thing that fitness taught me about life is that you have to be patient with getting results, but impatient with taking action. The faster you figure out the things that works for you personally, the faster you will start to see changes in your body, but also in all areas of your life. When I grew up, I was such an impatient kid. Whenever I was in school and I couldn't figure out the problems, right away, or if I didn't get the way I wanted immediately, then I would get upset. And I remember feeling the same way when I first started going to the gym. I did everything great for like 1 or 2 weeks, but because I didn't see results right away, I used to get unmotivated and then I would just quit. And this happened for me for months and months and months until I had to realize that I just had to be more patient. It didn't take me just a couple of weeks to get fat, right? So I couldn't expect to look better in just a couple of weeks. The person who waits for something good, they never wait too long. And as I had more and more patience, I started to see more progress. Just think about this in your own life. Things that were really exciting to do, things that could change your life for the better. But when you started, you quickly realized that it would take so much more time to actually see results, and you ended up quitting instead. Here's what I want you to do. I want to encourage you to pick those things up again and just stick with it for the long run, because deep inside that as long as you keep going, your life will improve for the better. Whether it's starting a YouTube channel, going to the gym, or whatever you can think of. It's up to you and no one else to create that life that you want. And the only way for you to make it a reality is if you stick with it long enough. What personally helped me, and I can recommend you, is to just visualize what your life will look like once you start making progress. For me personally, I wanted to have a better body, right? So what helped me was visualizing what that would look like. I would have more compliments from people when I walked outside. I walked with confidence and a straight back, and I was happy with the way that I looked. Whenever I walked past people, I noticed they would give me so much more attention. This became a much bigger motivator for me than simply just getting a better body. So I want you to do the same thing. Just close your eyes and visualize what your life will look like once you start getting the things that you want. Let's say if you were overweight, imagine seeing your six-pack for the first time in your life. Or let's say if you're skinny, finally starting to fill out your t-shirt sleeves and you feel proud of yourself. Or let's say you started that YouTube channel, the amount of positive impact you could have on people all across the world. I like to remind myself of these things whenever I feel that my patience is getting low and I want to way faster results. Good things, they take time to build, and sooner or later the payoff will be worth it as long as you keep going. Another way how controlling my fitness helped me with controlling my life is by not letting other people's progress affect my own. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's so true when you think about it. When we compare ourselves to other people, right? That's usually when we do it from a negative point of view. This happened to me just a couple of days after I first started going to the gym. I was this fat and insecure guy, right? And whenever I saw someone looking better than me at the gym, I always used to feel so bad about myself. Whenever I would make progress, I always used to think that I was never good enough, because I didn't have the muscles like the other guy did. So what I had to realize was that I couldn't compare my own progress to anyone else's. That guy at the gym, right? He probably had years of experience compared to me just having a couple of days. So of course he was gonna look better than me. In my opinion, the only reason why you should compare yourself to others is if you can use it as some kind of motivation. If they look better than you, if they have more money than you, or whatever you can think of, if you can use that as motivation, then that is great and continue doing it. But if you were anything like me, it only made things worse. And I just felt bad about myself. Because I felt this way, I had to force myself to start thinking differently. What is the point of you having thoughts that doesn't help you improve your life in one way or another? So I had to change my approach to just start thinking more positive. For example, whenever I saw someone do better than me and it was a fact, I would just think to myself, man, I'm actually happy for you. Instead of having this jealous and hateful approach to it. At first it wasn't easy, But as time went on, it got better and better and better. This not only improved my mental health, but I made so much more better progress in the gym, because I thought to myself, if I saw someone that looked good, I can be there as well, as long as I kept working. If you want more help with your own personal fitness, then just add me on Discord. I'll put my username on the screen right now, but also in the description. More videos just like this one on the way, so why not press subscribe while you're at it, and thanks for watching.